I think, what holds a lot of companies back is there's so many leaders out there that are narcissists, and it's unfortunate, right? There's many of them, and they want to dictate what should be done, and they think they're the smartest people in the room. I want my company to thrive, and in order to do that, I need to do a great job just listening and including and making the people a part of what we're doing and providing them with a level of inspiration.
Hey everybody, I want to thank you for watching the podcast and helping me on this journey. I really do appreciate all of you. What I have found interesting is that 89% of the viewers do not subscribe. What I need for you to do to help me is to subscribe to the videos. Please like and subscribe. That is what's going to give me more support than anything. I appreciate all you viewers. I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you.
Francis McMahon, how in the world are you?
Larry Vaughn, great to see you again.
Good to see you. Boy, I'm telling you, I thought about a lot about you because I just, I was at D.Scoop, and I think you might have known that. And they sent me an invitation and asked me to come out since I was what they classified as one of the old goats, for the 20th reunion, and God almighty, it was good. It really, really was. And being able to see a lot of the guys that, worked with us, on that. I mean, Yuki was there, Mark Sharp was there. Let's see who all else. Of course, Jack. He was there, but a tremendous amount of newbies. But I will tell you right now that Peter and John Bailey, I mean, they have really stepped it up a notch. I mean, they have done just a fabulous job with D.Scoop. A lot of energy, and just it was really something when I was the partner night when I was talking to them all. Of course, I stood up and kind of told them, how all it began with about 8 guys in Atlantic City, saying, hey, through Francis McMahon's direction, this is what we started. This is what we put together. And look what it came to be today. You ought to be proud of yourself, Francis.
Well, I'm proud of everybody. I think the important thing, and for people out there who may not know what D.Scoop is, it's a group of individuals that have come together for the better of the industry and not for the better of themselves, but to make our printing industry just a better place. And the best way to do that is to come together and share ideas and try to figure out ways in which we can promote what we're doing and allow for all of us to benefit from print communications. And I got to tell you, Larry, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to attend this year. I really wanted to. It just couldn't work for a variety of reasons. But I think next year I'll be able to do it. But what's most important is what you just said. And one of the reasons I really want to go, I just want to see what all these incredible people have done with it and taken it to, because I read about it and I hear about it. And it's become something that, I know way back when you and I were very much involved. I don't think I had quite the vision that these people have had, and I'm just really proud of what they've been able to do and to keep it alive, and for all the associations and user groups and that are going on out there. I hope they stay, because I think we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, we do, but Francis, I mean, you need to pat yourself on the back just a little bit. I mean, because the vision that you had, 20 some odd years ago, of how digital print, is going to take place in your foresight, of what all would be, because I'm an old school analog printer, and boy, when you're putting the DPACs together, which was the digital council groups that you put together, and D.Scoop, that you put together, and this is the vision that you had, you just had to get some people together to help you transition that vision. And then once you moved on from there, you got to think going. and then
Yeah.
you had your Deepaks on there, and look at where that is today. I've said many times, boy, I'm telling you right now, there's many organizations that would love to have a D-Scoop, and they would love to have a think. But it takes a unique leader and a unique group to be able to collaborate and put all that together, because sometimes it's just hard to explain, the openness, the non-competitiveness that you instilled in everybody, and it's been great looking back, 20 years.
Oh, I remember in graduate school sitting through in counting class, and the professor was a comedian, a brilliant guy. And I remember finally feeling confident enough to yell out in this group of 35 people an answer.
Well,
And I got the answer correct. And I said, "You see," I think his name was Tenji. I said, "You see, Mr. Tenji, um, I'm a smart guy." And he said, "Francis, you're never going to be a smart guy." He said, "The only thing we're hoping for is that you can become better educated." But the reason I bring that up, yeah, it kind of embarrassed me in front of the entire class, but was important. And I talked to him after, and we were just talking socially, and I said, "You're absolutely right. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and I never will be, and I will get better educated. But what has helped me in my career, and this was early on, and has certainly helped me today, is recognizing that and being smart enough to surround myself with really, really bright people that have diverse thoughts, and by bringing them all together, these amazing ideas can be fostered and implemented. So I think that's the key to everything you kind of just talked about, Larry. If you can put some people together in a room that share a common vision, anything is possible.
Oh, hands down, you're exactly right, and it's not for everybody, but I because we found that out, the majority, yes, but there is a few that just does not quite see the vision. And, I talk a lot about, on the podcast here is leadership. And then I talk about collaboration. Then I talk about mentoring. And I think all three of those are absolutely key, in businesses, of how to make them succeed and make them grow. And and I want to get your vision on what you see as leaders, because I look at you as a great leader, and I've told many people before, you really don't have to lead, Francis. Just your whole personality, your whole drive of what your vision of what you try to do. I mean, people just want to follow you. And I see that, of the employees that you've had that's worked for you for a long time. And I see a lot of leaders today, and I've said this many times, it, I see them, I'm going to use bindery, for example, they'll go back and they'll say, this is the way you're going to do it, people, this is the way you have to handle it. This is how it's supposed to be done. And it's theory is what they are thinking. The theory is this is how it should work. Well, the people back there know how it works. I mean, they're in it every single day, and you need to, the leader needs to listen to them and to the employees and empower the employees to let them make the decisions.
Oh, exactly. And, just being humble, going back to what I was saying earlier, just recognizing all the things you don't know, and having a lot of respect for what other people can bring to the table. And if you can demonstrate that respect for their ideas and collect their ideas and make them a part and be really inclusive in what you're doing, it's one thing to hand a strategy as an example to an organization. It's a whole nother thing to make them a part of the development of the
Mhm.
strategy. Because when they do that, they feel like they've been heard. They feel like they have a
Yep.
piece of it. They feel like they have some ownership. It brings everybody together to achieve a common goal or mission. And people were just rally around that. And, the big pieces, as you pointed out a second ago, Larry, is the empowerment piece. So once you
Mhm.
build your strategy and once you all come together and people feel some ownership, letting them go do it. So it's not about working with people and say, here's how you need to go do it. It's about here's what we need to achieve. Now it's yours. You go figure out how to do it. And it
Hmm.
allows people to create. It gives them a sense of purpose and passion. And before you know it, everybody's pretty successful.
Oh yeah, and they're happy, willing to work, and it gets to the point that, of course, money is always great. I mean, it's definitely always good to have, but it's not always, when you get to that point, it's not always the driver
No,
of the money. It's a good environment, being heard, being able to make decisions, employee.
I think what holds a lot of companies back is there's so many leaders out there that are narcissists, and it's unfortunate, right? There's many
Yeah,
of them, and they want to dictate what
yeah.
should be done, and they think they're the smartest people in the room,
Mhm.
and man, there's a reason why we hire all these people, and there's a reason why we have all this diversity in the workplace, and if you leverage it, your business can be really, really successful. And here I am starting with a new company, and I'm spending the first 90 days really just listening and learning and trying to figure out the culture that they currently have and trying to figure out what each person and organization brings and trying to get to know these people as individuals first before I even get into what they're doing. And I'm already sensing that, the things kind of coming together, and it's, you have to be sensitive too. And that,
Yeah.
here I am coming in brand new as the president of TechNow and chief marketing officer. They've had a very dynamic leader for many, many, many years running this organization. They're very attached to him, Jeff Kewen, and now Jeff's retiring, and that's a tough transition for all these people. And you have to really think about that. I'm coming in, right? Their whole world just changed. Right now,
Mhm.
they got to get to know a whole new guy, and they've been comfortable, and so I'm just going to do my best to fit in, to listen over the course of the next 90 days before I do anything. Uh, I'm trying to dress the part. This is how they dress here. So I'm trying to
That's good.
do my best to fit in. And
Yeah.
um, so far, so good after 4 weeks, I think.
You know, I got I got I got tickled. Of course, you and I've known each other for, a pretty good while. And when you announced your retirement, and we talked about it, and you said, "Yeah, boy, I'm telling you, me and Monica, we're gonna go on a cruise. We're gonna go here. We're gonna, take these vacations and take a couple of years off." And I thought, boy, it's gonna be nice, Francis, just to take time, be able to do that. And I was telling Jody about it, and I said, "Jody, somebody gonna scoop him up real fast," you know. And the crazy thing about it is, you know, as soon as people and businesses out there found out that you were fixing to be available, and I think you had 2 or 3 just contact you just right off the bat.
Yeah, God, I gotta say, it was really the industry's given back. There's no
Yeah,
question. I mean, I needed to come back to work. I'm not ready to retire. Number one, mentally, I'm not ready to retire, but
yeah,
then financially, if I want to keep the lifestyle that I currently have, which isn't
yep,
so bad, I need to work on a few more years. So, but taking a break, I think, from what I was doing was important. And a few people told me, there's going to be opportunities that come, and I'm so grateful. I mean, the phone rang, and there were a few of them actually, and this one was just it was too good to be true, and the timing just didn't quite work for me. But
yeah,
it's fine, right? I'm happy to be engaged again, but I was hoping to get a year, maybe even longer, to do some things. But Monica and I did get an opportunity to get a few weeks off, which was great. And it's nice to
yeah,
be back at it. I miss looking at the numbers. I miss looking at the charts and the graphs and the interaction with the people. And, you can only drink so much whiskey at night. You got to get back at it and put that
right.
stuff away, right?
Right, that's exactly right. But it speaks a lot about, not only the current leader that was there and you replacing that leader. Is my understanding in the article that I read, I think he was in the helm for about 30 years. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah. And
I
Jeff,
mean, that,
I knew Jeff from my Canon days and my HP days. He's a great partner to both of those companies and others. Great partner to Ricoh and Screen and some other companies as well. And he's just a really good-hearted guy and a great leader. And it was all by accident. I mean, I think what happened was Jeff and I were on the phone, and he said, the only thing I haven't done, he said, I'm getting close to my retirement, and the only thing I haven't done is found a successor. And I need to do that. I owe it to the company to do that. And like there it was, right? And like we just started talking, and
yeah,
I think I was headed to the beach, an hour later, uh, to
yeah.
enjoy some retirement, and then off it came, and it was quick. It was just a quick, very quick thing, and it makes sense for me, makes sense for them, and I just hope I can do as good of a job as he's done.
Well, I don't think you're going to be there another 30 years, but I'm sure you'll be there for a pretty good while.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I love the industry so much, and who knows with time, but I could see doing another 10 years in our industry. Easy,
Well,
you
I
know,
mean, you're still a young man, Francis. You still, got a ways to go. I mean, geez. I mean, I enjoy working.
right?
I enjoy the people. I enjoy the competition, or
Yeah,
and just to see what all takes place, and I've got customers that I've dealt with for a number of years, and I know their kids, and they're adults now, and they're having kids, so it's good just to continue to keep, number one, keep that involved, keep that going, and just the camaraderie with people that
yeah. Well,
it
that's
makes
that's
a
the fun part of the whole thing, right? Is the people side. Larry, you and I have been around this industry an awfully long time. We've got a lot of
uh,
great friends. You were talking about your experience at D.Scoop.
yeah.
I mean, that's what I missed most was, by not attending, was just being able to see some people and connecting with them and people I haven't seen in a long time. But I'm pretty confident. I got it on the calendar for next year, and
Good.
I'm going to join you guys out there and celebrate a little bit.
Good. I think that, it will be in Denver,
Yes.
at one of the Gaylords, I think, which are great facilities, but
Yeah.
we had a lot of good time there, and so it'll be a real fun event. Well, now, the TechNew is a supporter for digital printing equipment. Is that correct?
That's right, and that's where the connections come from. So we don't make printers. What we
Yeah,
do is we make everything on the other end. Well, actually, kind of both ends, but let's focus
yeah.
on the finishing thing. So at the end of the day, we got Larry Vaughn printing. You need something sellable. And something that comes off a sheet of paper or a roll of paper is just that. It's not a finished product at that point. So we provide the finished product. We take that roll
Mhm.
of paper and we cut it and bind it, or depending on what the application is, and we put it into something that's then sellable to a business or to a consumer, you know. And the other part of that I'm getting really excited about is TechNow acquired a company called Sitma a couple years back, and that's packaging. So
Mm,
think about when you get a frozen pizza, there's a plastic wrapper over it. Think about when you receive some clothing from LL Bean, and it's in a nice package that shows up at your doorstep, which is sustainable. It's paper versus plastic. And those are just a couple examples. So I'm really excited to dive into the packaging side because that's brand new for me.
huh. Now this is equipment that, um, helps support the packaging industry. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. It's packaging. We've got the Techno equipment that does finishing, and then we've got
Yeah.
the packaging side, which is you can take a product and put it right in. Think about, for example, all the Shutterfly work that goes
Yeah.
out. that needs to get into the mail stream. So, you create these products that now needs to go. We make automated packaging equipment where you can put all those products right on a conveyor and it will automatically package them, put a shipping label on it, and put it out into the mail stream.
Wow. That is slick. Now, I mean, that's up and running. I mean, you're
Up and
actively
running.
selling that now.
I mean, Sitma's been around a long time. It's just new to
Yeah.
TechNow. TechNow purchased it a couple years ago. There's thousands of these machines out around the world. And
Yeah.
last week, I had the pleasure of visiting Sitma out in Italy at the factory and
Oh,
meeting all the
nice.
people. And a few days prior to that, I was out in Italy meeting all the people in charge of the TechNow business. So both companies are Italian. I
Yeah.
love working with the Italians. Ate a lot of pasta for 5 straight days,
Oh my
trying to
God.
figure out why nothing fit when I got back.
Drank a
But
little wine.
yeah, actually very little though, because I wanted to be
Uh,
fresh. But yes, I kind of missed that part of it, quite frankly.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm excited for it. And I'm excited for all the customers I've worked with for years, and hopefully,
Yeah.
they can benefit from some of these new solutions that I'll be marketing.
Now, and that's where the manufacturing facility is for both in Italy. Is that correct?
Correct. And we do some engineering and manufacturing here in Andover, Massachusetts, which is the USA headquarters for TechNow and Sitma, and that's where I am today.
Okay. Now, are you going to be stationed there, so to speak? Are you be working out of there, or you'll still be, in Florida, or?
It's a great question. I like to be with the people, so I'm going
Yeah.
back and forth for now. But as Monica reminded me, my wife, when I was with Canon in Boca Raton, I was in the office maybe 2 to 3 times a month
Yeah.
because you're at a trade events, you're visiting with clients, you're constantly on the road. I had a lot of speaking engagements. So I'm going to see how this kind of goes, because if it's going to turn into something like that, then there's no reason really to pick up and move. But, to do what a lot of people in Florida do, which is, kind of 6 months in the Northeast and 6 months in
Yeah.
Florida, that has a nice ring to it. So we'll
Oh,
see.
that'll work out very well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. How many employees are there?
About 70 here in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. And then if you go over and you're in Italy again at the manufacturing facility, well, if you need somebody to go with you, be sure and holler at me.
Well, I know you're smiling at that, but let's be serious about that for a moment, Larry. You've been one of the people that have helped me with my advisory councils, and
Yeah.
you were one of the founders of D.Scoop. We've been joined at the hip, and you've
A long
provided me with a
time.
lot of great
Yeah.
guidance over the years. And I'm going to have to put together something similar here at some point in time,
Yeah.
because, again, I'm not the smartest guy, as I was reminded
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
graduate school, but I'm smart enough to put all you guys together, and I'm going to need you to come look and tell me what I've got here and how to go market it. So that's coming.
Yeah.
Give me a little time
Okay.
on that.
Well, that'll be good. Yeah, my little Italian wife, she wanted to make sure I plugged that in and told you,
I don't know if the country's ready for Jody, but
Oh, boy,
we'll
that is
see.
exactly right.
Yeah,
It's
we may have to
exactly
leave
right.
her home on the first couple trips.
Oh, that will never happen. And Francis, there's another thing that I was thinking about, and there's so many organizations out there that are striving, for leadership. And this is one of the reasons that I started the podcast, of to see maybe, how I could help. I never was the greatest leader, but I'm pretty damn honest on a lot of things, and just pretty, straightforward to see, if I could, reach out and kind of help them. And because I handle a lot of kids, mentors, because, I try to mentees, and I try to help them. And there's just so many things that are just missing. And numbers are very, very important. There is no question. But sometimes you have to maybe overlook the numbers just a little bit, to help the people, because the people is what's going to make you money,
Yeah.
hands down. on that. So, you know, trying to get leaders, trying to get them to listen. That's a lot of the problem right there, and because I've come up with some ideas and I've shared it, with people that I've worked with, and now that's not going to work. I says, well, yeah, it's going to work, because it's worked before, so I don't know. So I might be calling on you, to help me, help some other people that's out there on that.
Yeah, I think, the hardest thing, Larry, is, I think probably 8 or 9 out of 10 people that are in senior roles are very interested to hear from others about different ways, other ways, better ways to lead. And there's the couple out there that you can't tell them anything, right? And I think, we got to recognize that pretty quickly, right? And just, let them be. But that other 8 people or so that really would like to learn more. And it's the looking in the mirror, and it's really understanding and being humble, as I mentioned earlier, and just, look, I don't know everything. I need help. I want to be the best. I want my company to thrive. And in order to do that, I need to do a great job just listening and including and making the people a part of what we're doing and providing them with a level of inspiration. And inspiration's pretty easy to do, it's easy if, again, you're just inclusive. And if you're inclusive and you're constantly with the people and you're talking to the people and you care. I think too many leaders out there don't know their people individually, and they don't show any empathy. And a lot of leaders think empathy is weakness. It's not weakness at all.
No.
You want to rally your people and you want them to do for you and do with you. Show them that you care about them.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they'll follow you forever. They surely will. And of course, next time you're ever in Houston, God, I'd love for you to come by and I could
I'm not
introduce you
coming to
to
Houston,
everybody.
Larry. Nobody goes to Houston.
They don't. They really
No, you
don't.
just cut it off and give it to another country.
Oh my God, I did exactly right. I told Jody, I says, "Oh my God, I don't know if the older I get, the less I can tolerate the heat." And I'm
Well,
telling you, it gets some kind of hot here, and I'm telling
I
you,
know it does. I know it does. Yep.
that is so true, and that. But the good news is, I do live kind of out in the country, and but of course, all the people are coming this way now.
Oh, you live in a beautiful spot, Larry. I was
It's
very
nice.
fortunate to be able to take a ride and come see you a couple of years ago. It was great.
Oh, I was tickled to death that you came out. Well, I really did. It was it meant a lot. Surely did. But Francis, I do want to have you back on one of these days, so we can talk about some other things. And once you get settled at where you're at right now, so I can kind of hear some of your thoughts and ideas and things that take place. And that I appreciate you saying that, but anytime you need any help on anything, I'm just tickled to death to try to help you and input my ideas.
I'll be calling on you, Larry Vaughn. You're one of the best.
Well, thanks.
Yep.
So are you, Francis. I
Yep.
appreciate it very much. Be sure to tell all your family I said hello.
And the same. Give Jody a big kiss for me.
I will do it. All
Okay.
right, buddy. We'll talk to you.
See ya.
If you're enjoying The Larry Vaughn Show, don't forget to give the episode a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to ensure you never miss a new episode.